And now, Dean Forgione with a spoken word piece. I am smelling like the rose that somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed. I am smelling like the rose that somebody gave me 'cause I'm dead and bloated. Episode 34 of The Performers I Know. Special guest Anna Gelpke coming at you. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are performers I know. All right, everybody, here we are. It is another fun-filled episode of The Performers I Know. This is episode number 34. That's right, we've
Wow.
got 34 of these in the books. Everything is going super duper. I'm excited. This week, all the way from Studio, New Jersey, the third person that I have interviewed from the Brundage Park Playhouse group of people. And actually, strangely enough, I've done one person a season. Zoe Rock was season 1. Jared Zach was season 2. And my guest today is season number 3. She's an actress, singer, director, all-around professional. Please welcome my guest, Anna Gelpke. Anna, welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you so much. What an intro.
I know. I practiced that intro for 16 hours yesterday, and I
Oh,
was
I'm
really
honored.
I'm very very proud of you.
Oh my
So,
gosh, me too. Wow.
oh yeah. So once upon a time, last year, exactly a
Yes.
year ago, I feel, I saw an advertisement for Brundage Park was doing Beauty and the Beast, and Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite shows. It's a show that not many people in the theater community near me do it. So I jumped at the chance to try out for this. It was an hour drive. And a lot of people said, Dane, why? Why are you doing this? Because I like Beauty and the Beast, duh. So I went in and I tried out, and Anna was there as the director. And I remember it was me, Michael Rocco, and Chelsea, her last name escapes me. We did a scene together as Gaston, LeFou, and Belle. And Chelsea was little teeny tiny young lady. So I went down on my knees to get at her level. And yeah, it all snowballed from there as I became Cogsworth. Spectacular.
Indeed, you did.
Yes. I hurled myself all over the stage for everyone's amusement because I was trying out for LeFou. I might have herniated like 16 of my discs, but it was worth it because I got into it as Cogsworth and I had a lot of fun. But Anna, my first question to you, what got you into acting and performing and all that great stuff? What got you bitten by the performing bug?
Oh goodness. I for as long as I can remember, I was singing and performing or doing something to that effect. My dad, who was also a performer that you know, not on this podcast, but
It's true, I do
he
know him.
he really introduced me to that world when I was young, and I loved it. And I'm so thankful that he allowed me to pursue that as a passion. And here we are now directing and doing crazy things like that.
That's right. You know, you mentioned your father, the wonderful Ray Gelpke. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
now, did he? Sources have told me that he has perfect pitch. Is that?
Uh, I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, okay. So,
Perhaps.
you know, I don't I can't really name my source, but now I'm a little confused because that was my understanding. But we'll get away from that. Did he for as so so from the day that you were born, was he doing theater or did it come kind of later
From the oh no, I'm already you were kind of breaking up. I didn't hear the question fully.
on? I say from the day that you were born, was he doing theater or did this come about later on in his?
Oh no, my dad has been a performer for his whole life as well. He always loved singing and being on the stage. And when I was younger, we got to do all those like father-daughter type duet type things, like that classic number from Annie, things like that, which was so super fun. And as I got older too, like we would be in shows together. And even as I grew older, we were in shows together. I can't quite think of the last show we were in. It's been a minute. I think he is, quote, retired from the stage, but maybe I can pull him back on for something soon.
I
Um,
I would pay to see that.
yeah, no, I mean, he is very talented as well. I give most of the credit to him for mine, I suppose.
Hmm. So yes, I stepped onto the stage as Cogsworth, and Anna was the director. And it was a lot of fun because between working with Jared and Nick Short and Owen McKenna, all, or as your dad calls them, the Three Stooges.
Indeed.
Yes. And David, who he just went down south apparently, and don't quite know what that came about, but that's all right.
He's in
Um,
Tennessee now,
he is in
living his
Tennessee.
best life.
Yeah, that well, that's all we can ask for. Had
Indeed.
was that one of your first directing jobs, or had you done directing before?
It was the second show I've ever directed at Brundage Park. I did Mary Poppins the year prior. Um, and now this year I'll be directing Annie, so that'll be my third show, which is super exciting. Um, but I have had other directing opportunities in a couple of other theaters as well. And then I used to do a lot of stuff with my dad. I would assist and direct, or I would choreograph, or I would help produce different things. So
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, I think that answers your question.
yeah. I think you hit all the points there. That was wonderful. Um, you know, because I remember it was a little bit tricky because the Disney theatricals or whoever the hell owns the rights to Beauty and the
Mm-hmm.
Beast gave us a completely different music track, if I recall
Oh,
correctly.
yes. They, I suppose I'm not quite sure how all that works in the land of MTI, but I think they change the scripts around every once in a while just to help with copywriting. But the script that I thought we would receive was not the script we did receive. So that had some challenges. Some of those classic songs were cut and some really funny lines were changed. But
I felt the most bad for Michael Rocco because he was
it,
the insane asylum head, Monsieur Dark, and he has an entire song with Gaston and LeFou, and
mm-hmm.
the song was just gone. So it was just like Monsieur Dark just comes in. Oh, hi, Belle. I know none of you have seen me this entire show, but I'm coming to collect your father. Who are you? Where? Okay. So,
I know that was such a good song. That was definitely a bummer to see that wasn't a part of the script, but
yes.
it's just
And
what it is,
it is
you
what
know?
it is. And it was a really fun experience for me. I got to work with a whole bunch of different people, especially, of course, Miss Zoe Rock and
Hmm.
all that wonderful stuff. And I back way back in her episode, I told her about the because there was a lot. It's not so much the stuff that happens on stage, but it's also like the extracurricular activities. The examples that I give are when Beast Matt didn't put on his neck piece, whatever, before the slow dance with Belle. And I think Nicole Page was the one who handed it to me backstage, like, put this on, Matt, before the. Okay, well, Lumiere does not have the use of his hands. Mrs. Potts only has one hand. I guess by default, yeah, I'll have to do it. So of course, I'm on stage, and the first time I tried to put it on, it was, folks, Matt is a wonderful guy, but he sweats like he's in a sauna. The man was soaked, and the hair was getting all matted, and I'm like, okay, can't get it around his neck. And then he kept walking away, and I had to follow him. And for a brief moment, my eyes locked with Anna. She was in the audience, and she was just like, "What? You better get that thing on him. You better get that thing on his neck." I'm trying, Anna. As I said to Zoe, I thought you were going to come backstage and beat me with my clock pendulum.
I would do no such thing.
Oh, well, good. That makes me feel better. She would have
No,
like
I
maybe
mean, you were looking at me like, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, figure it out. You got to get it on him.
that. Yeah, we
I
literally
my
stopped
faith
the
in
show
you.
like, Anna, dearest Anna, what shall I do? Dearest Danathan, please figure it out.
Please figure it out.
Yes.
Exactly.
And yeah, and
And you
every
did. You did
I
figure it out.
did because finally Matt sat still long enough for me to be like, "Come over, stay still, okay, we got it." So
And
yeah,
it's always a joy to like see um, you know, actors on stage like in moments like that, but especially you just because your comedic timing is so wonderful. It was completely hysterical watching it all go down as well. So that is always
well,
a perk as someone in the audience watching
well,
it happen.
I did a lot of ad living as Cogsworth, and I always ran it by Anna first, like, "Is this okay? Like, can I do this?" And nine times
And what
out of
did I
ten,
say?
Anna was like, "Sure, go ahead." And one of the things that I was doing was the if it's not broke, don't fix it. I kept I was addressing it to audience members and kind of like, ha 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 ha. And there was one night where I was walking to do that line, and Anna was in my line of sight. And now of course, folks, you can't see me, but she had the hand to her face, like, "Don't do it, Dane. Don't do it. I know what you're thinking. Don't you dare." And it's like, okay, you know what? As hysterical as this would be, I will, yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot there. Because again, you would probably, I mean, you probably wouldn't have beaten me with my clock pen. Maybe you would have like choked me a little bit, but that's
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding, of course. Anna doesn't have a
I I just wanted as someone who had sat through it many a time, I needed somebody else in the audience to experience that moment.
yes,
It's
that's
all
true.
about the moment you create.
Well, one of the funnier moments during rehearsals was when we were during there must be something there that wasn't there before. And
Mhm.
me and David were coming out too early for one scene, and you were just like, "Will you two goons, please?" Just it wasn't what you said, it was just the way you said it. Like you were joking around, of course. "You two goons, please." Hey, I'll wait for your cue. Yes, of course. Um, and
That sounds like something I would say.
it was my understanding that that was one of the quickest audience sellouts for the show.
Oh yes. oh my gosh, I was just talking about that today. Um, Beauty and the Beast sold out so quick, which was so phenomenal for the theater. It I don't even know. It was like 2, 3 weeks before we even opened, and we had so many sold out performances. We had to add 2 additional performances that also sold out because of everyone wanted to come see it. And I mean, I'm so glad they did. It was such a truly talented, phenomenal cast. I mean, you guys worked together so wonderfully. Every piece was just so
Mhm.
wonderful, truly.
And
You couldn't ask for anything more as a director.
despite what Zoe Rock said, I did not forget any piece of my costume. Zoe, if you're
All right.
Zoe, if you're listening to this, I don't know where you got that idea, but you, uh, I will say this though, we played that game. Where's David? Where's David? Where's David?
Yeah.
He would be off on his own little Lumiere world. But yeah, it was fantastic. Um, yes. But speaking of shows that are selling out quick, as we record this, ladies and gentlemen, it is July 13th. Of course, this is going to air a couple of months later, so this is a little bit of inside baseball. But next, very soon, I actually isn't opening tonight, or was that last night? Little Mermaid for Brundage Park. Yes.
We open next Friday. We're
Oh,
entering
okay,
tech.
Okay, I was off by 1 week. And you are playing Ursula.
I am.
It is a that I'm very excited to see the show. What's the process been like going through that um, show and the experiences that everyone's having?
Oh, sure. I mean, The Little Mermaid is just so fun. I mean, it has so many fun numbers in it and so many classic songs. So the show itself is just so fun to be a part of. Um, the cast is so wonderful. The creative team is really just putting their heart and soul into this. It's truly going to be so wonderful. I'm so freaking excited for it to go up. Tech is going to be crazy, wonderful, amazing. It's been a blast. It's fun to be back on the stage doing something um, like fun and like easy. I mean, like I know I'm the villain, but like it's fun to be the villain sometimes too.
You know, I was actually going to mention this because way back when, well, not way back when, maybe a couple of years ago, you were in Hairspray, I believe, and you played Tracy Turnblad.
I was, yeah.
Yes. So, you've played ingenues and heroines and you're playing the villain. What would you say is a lot more fun to play? Heroes or villains, or do you like a mix of both?
Oh, I mean, villains are so fun. I mean, it depends on who you're playing, you know? I mean, how can you beat Poor Unfortunate Souls? That's such a bop. It's
It's
so much
true.
fun.
It's true. People are going to be dancing down the aisles.
I
Oh,
hope so.
I mean, that is one of my favorite Disney villain songs. And I've
Exactly. I
mentioned
mean,
this
it
before.
doesn't get more iconic than Ursula. I mean, she is everything. She is the moment, you know? So
That is
it's
true.
been such an honor to bring her to life, in this production, in this space. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yes. Now you worked with Nicole Page, the recently engaged.
Recently engaged. So
Yes.
exciting. So excited for both of them.
Yes. Now, is it one of those things where, like, sometimes I feel like it's a package deal, like, oh, if Dawn is doing a show, Nicole Page is there, and Dawn is there as well, or do you guys like, tend to sometimes do separate things? I guess what I mean is, you like to work with each other a lot, like, if you really can.
Oh, absolutely. Nicole Page and I actually were just in, and Austin, her fiance, we're all in Godspell this spring. And that was just so fun to actually be in a show together because we worked together on so many projects in different spaces. In I directed her in Mary Poppins, and then we worked together on Beauty and the Beast, both as part of the creative team, and then we both got to be in a show together. So I love that. I think it's so much fun. And same with John, I think getting to use people in all capacities, or getting to work with them in all capacities, I should say, is just so exciting.
Now, do you have any other projects? Well, besides Annie, you're doing that in December. Do you have any
Yes.
other projects that you are looking to do, or any auditions that you're going to be a part of?
I don't think for this year. I'm ready to put everything into Annie. I think we're gonna have auditions in like September. So come on out for auditions, everybody.
Hang
And
on,
then
let me
it'll
write
go
this
up in
down. Let me
December.
write this down. Mhm. Let me see. Let me butcher a song from Annie.
No
Yes.
such thing.
I mean,
Never a butcher.
listen, I know my limitations, and it's funny because Zoe Rock was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if I played Annie and you were Daddy Warbucks?" And I can't help but say to myself, "Okay, well, Zoe is a fantastic singer. I am not. I mean, I can carry a tune, but like,
Why are we saying that?
um, we are saying that because we know that we are not the best singer. I mean,
I
like,
don't like
I,
that.
I mean, well, I appreciate that, but like I said, I know my limitation, and I try very hard, but I feel like if I tried to sing like something from Annie, Greenpeace would show up. Like, is there a whale being beaten up in here? Something like
Oh
that.
my good golly, no.
See, what I said was so shocking. A dog is barking.
Oh yeah, oh gosh, can you hear him? So I apologize. It's
Oh,
Oliver.
oh man, oh man. Um, so your dad, Ray, is,
Yes.
he is the big part of Brundage Park Playhouse. Does that kind of add like a layer of, harder work, or in order to keep everything running, or is it just like is he still like a fun, fancy feel like, whatever happens, happens? Because I know um, some people that I've worked with who quote unquote own their own theater groups rather than just they're
Mhm.
just directing it. Some people are very stringent, like, this is serious. And some people are like, hey, you know what? Well, let's have some fun. We'll have some laughs. What would you say it's like for the Gelpke family in that instance?
That's a good question. It's really funny because my dad more recently than not actually got the job as a theater manager at Brundage. I think it was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Um, and there was another woman who worked there for a very long time, and she actually gave me like one of my first jobs. I was working at Brundage long before I think my dad even stepped foot into the place. I did the summer camps, and I was a camp counselor, and I did shows there too. And then as we kind of grew to be part of that family, it just all kind of fell into place, and he did end up getting that job, which was so wonderful. Um, I mean, we care a lot about Brundage. It really is like a second home to me. It was such a big part of my life. I feel like I grew up there, doing what I love. So, every show that, we do put on, it kind of has that mentality. Like we want nothing but success for the theater and to everyone have a good time and have fun and, create those bonds because, when you do a show and especially like Beauty and the Beast, I feel like that cast was so tight knit of a crew that everyone still kind of does talk to each other, which is a rarity. So that's really like what we try to bolster is just that sense of community and coming together and
Um,
having it be fun, but also putting on these beautiful pieces of art. These shows that we create, that all these people come in. We have so many different directors and music directors and choreographers come through our doors, and they do such wonderful things. So, just keep supporting the arts, and that's really the main thing. We just want to support the arts and make Brundage grow and the theater grow,
Yeah.
and
Well,
all those good.
I knew that I was going to fit in very well because the first or second rehearsal that we had at the theater, Nick, Short, and Owen and Jared were sitting in a row and they were making some kind of a joke. And I finished the joke like a few rows away from them, and they all started laughing. And I heard Jared go, "Oh, he's going to fit in. He's going to fit in so just that magnificent Jared Zach voice. Anna, come on now. Like, can we do it this way? I don't know. That's my Jared Zach impression.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And
He does. He has a very. He has that voice.
what's
So
goody, my gang? Nick Short. Yeah. My Nick Short's not as good.
the Nick Short needs a little work,
It doesn't even.
but um,
Yeah, yeah.
even like having it's such like wonderful people have walked through the doors and they stick around, which is great. I'm glad that it is a safe place that like everyone wants to come back to and enjoys themselves, and they get to do what they love because
Ah,
it's fun.
agreed. Agreed. Well, I can see by the old clock on the wall that we are starting to run out of time. But Anna, I have one last question I had to ask you. If
Sure.
somebody were to come up to you and say, "Hey, Anna, I'm looking to break out into doing theater, singing, dancing, acting," what would be the piece of advice that you would ask them to have them best succeed in that endeavor?
Ah, that's a good question. I would say if you really love it, keep doing it. And I think that goes across all things. Like if you really love something, like never stop doing it in any capacity. And like, I'm not saying like I'm going to be on Broadway or anything like that, but I get to still perform and I get to direct and I get to do all these things that I really do enjoy, like on a community based level. Um, so there's always an outlet for everyone to grow and do things. And I would always support you doing what makes you happy.
Of course, that is exactly my sentiments as well. So that's wonderful. Well, as our outro music plays us out, I want to thank Anna Gelpke for being my guest. Anna, thank you very much for this.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and I will see you all on the next episode. So long. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are performers I know.